Good YouTube, welcome back to the channel. As y'all can see, I got a new mic, so hopefully the sound will quality a little bit. If not, over time I buy a new mic. But as y'all can see by the title of the thumbnail, this is like a story time about like the first time I got in a physical altercation with my dad. Backstory: my dad, this happened. I want to say I was like 12 years old. I was 12 at the time. I wasn't that big. I was probably like 4'10", 4'11", maybe 5 feet. I was probably like 100, like 120, 130 pounds. Now, also give y'all a little backstory at the time. A backstory. So me and my dad are like damn near like this. Not in terms of close, but in terms of like the same personality. Like last time I talked to my dad when I was probably like 18 years old, like 2 months after I graduated high school. That's the last time I talked to my dad. I just turned 23 in March. Now, with that being said, I know that may sound like crazy to some people. It's like, no, like my dad ain't dead, like at least in my knowledge, but like that's the last time we talked was basically like 5 years ago. But we got the same personality, like that's nothing shocking to me, just because me and him are the same personality. Like if you seen my GQ video, how I was like, you go watch my GQ video. If you ain't seen that yet, how I say I always walk around with headphones in because I don't like being bothered. If I see somebody in public, I see like I know from school, just from the past, like I'm gonna try to my best to like avoid them. Like I'm listening to music or I like I'm on a phone call or something like that. And my dad's the same way. So my dad at the time of this, like the time when this situation happened, my dad he like 6'2". My dad like 6'2". And I know like the last time I seen him when I was 18, he was on some healthy shit. He had lost some little weight. Like he was just on his like healthy shit like I was. Like he just started, I think he got like he just cut his diet and shit. He just got on some healthy shit. By the time he was like 6'2", at this time when the incident happened, he was like 6'2", about 230. So at the time he was 6'2", 230. I was like 5 feet, 4'11", like 120, 130, some shit. So it was a huge difference. But just to get like a little backstory and shit, yeah, like he like a real like introvert. Like he like to the core. It's like, and also my dad um is a truck driver. So he like, if you don't know anything about truck drivers, bro, like at least how my dad is, bro, like he can go 10, 12 hours straight driving. Like he one of those people, like he'll drive 12 hours straight and won't speak to nobody. He don't answer the phone, he don't call nobody, he don't talk to nobody. Like nothing like that. Like he's just one of those people. Like he's like a huge introvert. Like that's why I said like, we got the same personality. I didn't want to believe it at the first. But at the time, like me and my dad, like growing up, we were the closest. Him and my little brother, like a little more closer than me and him was. Um, but yeah, like over time, like my mom would always say that she was like, "Man, you look just like your daddy." I'm like, "What the fuck ever?" Type shit. Like I ain't give a fuck. Like over time, like now, like looking, like just looking at me growing up over time, over time, I came to realize like me and my dad, we do kind of look alike. He's just a little darker than me, and on top of that, we get a little like I kind of came to this conclusion when I was way younger that we do got the same personality. Like it's like identical twins with the same personality. Like cool, laid back, don't talk much, but man, like we let shit slide, but once we hit a breaking point, nigga, we just fucking explode. Like that's just how we is. Um, but yeah, man, last time I seen and talked to my dad, I was like 18. And like I said, it's nothing that bash or nothing bad. That's just our personality. Because I know when I get older, like even now, me being in the military, like I know once I get out, I already know what state I'm gonna move to and this and that. But with that being said, I'm not even gonna mention that shit because I don't want nobody to see it. Because like I said, I really don't want to be bothered when I get out. Like when I get out, I know there's gonna be at least months, or possible years before I see my brother again, or see my little sister, or see my mother, or talk to them, or just in general. Just because like once I move, start my own family, get married, I will get with my wife, have kids and shit. I know I'm not gonna be like I'm gonna just be in my own fucking little world. That's just how my dad is now. Like, and we know like I got cousins and shit on my dad's side that they like we like not stay in contact, but like I know he ain't dead because they would have told me type shit. To where they are able to contact me So if something was to happen to him, they would be able to tell me. And what I've been saying, I ain't got a contact or a phone call or message. So as long as I know long as I'm tracking, he's still alive. So but yeah, to get into the story, bro. So this incident happened when I was like I said, I was 12. I don't know how old my dad was at the time. I can't even tell you his age. So basically, like my dad, like when I was young, when we was younger, my dad would come get us like every once, probably like once a month on the weekend. Like one time out the month, he'd come get us for the weekend. It'd either be once a month or it was like once every 2 months he'd come get us. Or once every 3 months. It was one of those. Like every other month or some shit, he would come get us once. And like it wasn't like I said, my dad's a truck driver. So it's not like he got his own house, his own apartment, his own car. Like he ain't got all that shit because he's always on the road. Like literally the only time he come back home is to handle business or to come see us at the time. And literally he'd do that for a few days, maybe a week, and then he'd be back on the road. So basically, like this time was no different. Like he came, picked us up. I think at the time we went to his brother's house. His trailer park. It was a terrible trailer park. Like man, you from old Black Alabama, shout out King Trailer Park, nigga. That shit's the trenches, nigga. But yeah, but yeah, yeah, we went to him like usually like he would just drop us off, and then he'd be gone all day because he like I say he's a truck driver. Like he on home every other fucking few months, so he would have to go handle business with it. You got to pay this off, get this handled, do some paperwork, get this situated. Like he was always busy. So basically, like he dropped us off, and literally he was gone like all day. And I remember, if I'm not mistaken, like this is like a fucking Saturday or some shit. So I think he came to get us like it's a Saturday. He was going all that type shit. And I remember he ended up coming back home that night. I think he brought us something to eat, or we ordered a piece of some shit, and that was it. Like we had to sleep on the floor and shit. It was fucking hot as fuck in there. How the fuck in the house we had to sleep. It was so hot, but we had to sleep with the door open. And we would sleep on the floor, it'd be fucking bugs and fucking flies flying in the house while you sleep and shit. Shit was crazy, nigga. But then, so the incident happened the next day. So the next day, we had one of my cousins on my dad's side. Something happened to where we was playing outside and she didn't have no shoes on. And I think she ended up like fucking like, something went through her feet. I remember something happened with her foot to where like, she stepped on something, like a needle on her foot or something happened to her, like something, she broke something in her foot. It was something like that. To a point like he had to take her to the hospital. He was gone. Now at this time he was supposed to taking us back today. Cause my mother literally said like at the time my mother was staying at these apartments that were really like fucking maybe like a 3-4 minute drive. It was like a 3-4 minute drive to her house. And then you literally just went down this back road and you went on like this little highway intersection and you walked down there, it was like in the middle of the highway intersection. So basically, I took it upon myself. I'm like, bro, I'm good. Like, it was me and my little brother. I'm like, bro, I'm like, dog, like, where the fuck I dad at? Like, bro, I'm trying to go back home. Like, it's hot as fuck over here. Ain't no food over here. I don't think at the time, I don't think he had cable in the house, my dad's brother. And I'm like, bro, I'm just ready to fucking go. So I'm like, bro, at this point, man, I'm like, bro, I'm just walk back home. Like, literally, I'm just walk back fucking home. Because I think we had been calling him, texting him, like, hey, where you at? You still taking us home? You need to call our mama to come get us, whatever. And at that time, my mother was pregnant. So I don't think she damn sure wasn't about to leave the house either. Because I think we called her too. And she was like, she pregnant. And she was pregnant at the time with my younger sister. So she wasn't leaving the house at all. So then, bro, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to just walk back home. So I walked home. I probably walked about, I probably say I walked like halfway there. It was probably like 4 or 5 miles away. I probably walked back like a good like 2 miles. And I was like, I had like halfway to go. And I remember I was like on like mine, it's like a little, not a highway, but it's like a interstate. So I'm walking down the interstate and I get to like the stoplight, one of the stoplights on the interstate. And I remember my dad just pulled up on the side of the road and he didn't say shit. He didn't tell me to get in. He literally just pulled up, looked at me, and I just hopped in the truck. And I remember I hopped in the truck. We drove like literally like fucking 2 minutes to my mama's house. my mother's house. Pulled up. I looked at my bags, like the shit, my bags I had packed. I had my little duffel bag I had packed. And I remember he walked in the house. We walked in the house. He walked in behind me. I went in my room. I remember my mom was on the phone. And I remember, yeah, my mother was on the phone in the living room. She was saying, I thought she was like folding clothes or doing laundry or some shit like that. So I literally, my room was like one of the first rooms on the left. So I walked in the house, walked past the living room, walked past the kitchen, threw my duffel bag in my room. I literally just threw it on the floor and I walked back in the living room with my mom and dad. And I remember, bro, like, so the way it was set up, like, as soon as you walk in the front door, we had a couch right here, and there was a couch right here like this, and there was like a little gap in between them like this. So, bro, he literally like fucking just, and I think my mom was on the floor. She was on the floor like just folding clothes. She just sat down on the floor in the corner. And I remember like he literally just fucking like, not even like, it's hard to explain now I'm thinking, but like he literally just fucking slung me over this couch, and somehow I landed on the side of this couch. Like, literally, like I literally went flying in the air over this fucking couch right here and landed on that couch. And I kind of landed like on my fucking like wrist. Like I ended up spraining my fucking wrist. So literally, like I landed on my wrist, and I'm like he literally just slung me like my fucking within like a millisecond. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like literally, like that's the only thing went through my mind. Like, what the fuck just happened? And before I could even like stand up and gather myself, he literally came and just fucking like, he didn't hit me. He just shook the fuck out of me. Like literally just grabbed me. I'm like I said, I'm like 4'10", 4'11", 5 feet, 120 pounds. He's 6'2", all of 230, nigga. And literally just grabbed me and just shook the fuck out of me. Like, and I guess he was just so frustrated because he was dealing with my cousin. She had just hurt her fucking foot. And now all of a sudden he get back home. He finally get back home. He's like, where the fuck my other son at? Like, where the fuck your brother go? That's what he said to my little brother, like, where the fuck your brother go? And like, he took off walking, like, what the fuck? And like I said, at the time, that neighborhood was like a fucking, that trailer park, King trailer park, nigga, where I was, like, where we was at, like, it was a fucking treacherous fucking area. So you don't just take off walking at 12 years old, just like you gonna fucking walk around that motherfucker. Just like that. But yeah, man, like, so he literally just grabbed me and just shook the fuck out of me. I remember, like, my mom got up finally and started screaming, like, get off of me. And I remember he just fucking just dropped my ass on the couch. And nigga, I had asthma real bad. I had like a fucking, like a little asthma attack, crying, breathing hard as fuck. And my wrist was like fucking like, couldn't barely fucking move. It was just fucking swollen and shit. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, then long story short, bro, like, I ended up, my mother didn't take me to the hospital. I don't know. I forgot how my brother got there. I think he went back home. I think my dad went back to his brother's house and got my brother. I think I don't know. It was somehow my brother made it to the hospital too, but he wasn't initially in the car when my dad came to pick me up on the side of the road, because my dad was in the car by himself. I just hopped in the front seat, so my brother was still back at his brother's house. But yeah, man, long story short, my mother drove me to the hospital, which was literally like fucking like 5 minutes down the road. Like literally everything was in the vicinity of each other. So she drove me to the hospital. Get to the hospital, fucking in the emergency room. Fucking, I don't have a fucking asthma attack. And literally, my life just flashed before my fucking eyes. Man, that shit was just crazy, dog. Like literally, so I'm in the emergency room, sitting there. Finally, get back to the back. They do like fucking like X-rays and shit, and nothing was broken. It was just swollen as shit. They gave me out this little brace, told me I gotta wear it for like a month or some shit, and then finally the police come. They talking to me, telling me, "Do you want to press charges?" I'm like. And even back then, as young as we fucking were, like we all knew, like you don't do shit like that, man. Like, no, I'm not making a statement on my dad. I'm not pressing charges on my fucking dad, like, because even back then, I just knew way fucking better. Like, we was always told, hey, whatever happens in the house within the family, that shit stays within the family. Like, you don't go telling family business to no fucking nobody. So like, I just said, no, I don't want to press charges. No, I don't want to make a statement. Clearly as that. So yeah, that shit over with, and like, man, after that situation, but like me and my dad, we didn't talk for like probably like 3, 4 years, bro. Like we didn't talk again. So I was like that when I was 12. We didn't talk again until I was probably like 16, 17, some shit like that. And yeah, bro, like, and like when me and my dad never even had a real like talk though. Like he like when we seen shit, I wasn't looking for no apology and no shit like that. But like he was like, cause over the years after that situation happened, he would still come back home. That was like the last time we started. We went over his house. Like that was the last time our dad ever came and picked us up. Now that I think about it, and that was like when I was 12. My brother had to be like 10, 10, at least either 9 going on 10. But like that was the last time he picked us up, and like we went to like hang out a weekend with our dad. So basically, like after that situation, like he would do like he was a little petty. I ain't gonna cap. He was a little petty. So what he would do is like anytime he did come home, he would call my mom. Now at the time, at like a little bit after this situation, that's when I got kicked out of my mom's house and I went to stay with my grandmother. So what he would do was like, and I don't think he knew that at the time, but like he would call my brother, call my mom, like, hey, tell, and he would say my little brother name, like tell him to come meet me at the truck station or meet me at this location, whatever. And he'll give my brother some money. My brother will call me like, hey, bro, my daddy just gave me $200-$300 type shit. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, what you give me? Oh, nothing. Like, he didn't leave shit. I was like, Sam, I ain't really give a fuck because I was doing my little own little thing. That's when time I started doing some other activities, so I was making my own fucking money. Like, literally at that time, my mother was literally borrowing $200, $300, $400 from me at the fucking time. Like that's like no funny shit, all facts. Like my mother was borrowing $200-$300 from me every other month or every other week, every other 2-3 weeks. Cause I was doing my own thing. I was good at saving my money, good at making money. I was doing my own fucking thing. So I didn't really care at the time, but like he would just do like petty shit like that, like smaller shit. But then after we did talk, when I was like 16, 17, he gave me like $300, like $300-$400 or some shit. And then like, cause after that, like after that situation, like I said, we never hung out with our dad again on the weekend. So he would just stop by like every probably like 2-3 times a year, and he just drop off a couple $100. And that's what he did. But yeah, after we finally met up, he gave me like probably like $300-$400. And I was like 16, 17. That's the time I had my own car. I was driving this shit. So I could actually go meet up, pull up on him by myself, and ask my mother, could she take us, or tell my mom like, hey, our dad back home. We need to ride to go see him and shit like that. I can actually just go by my damn self. Like, so like we never like discussed the situation. We never discussed the topic. We literally just like he seen me like the first time he talked to me, he was just like, how you been? How's school? What's your plans? Is you plan on going to college and this and that shit? And I know when, that I think about, I remember him saying like he did not want me to join the military. He said he hated that shit. He did not want me to fucking go. So like I said, I don't think he even knows I'm in now, or even joined, even thought about, even had thoughts about joining, because it literally happened so fast. And like I said, I ain't spoken to him in like 5 years. But yeah, like that's literally how the conversation went. He was like, "How you been? How school been? This and that." And like we never just had that conversation. Like and like a little backstory, like me and my dad, we was never like fucking close type shit. Like neither him nor like my brother loved to fuck up my dad, my little brother, but like we ain't never had like that. Like our dad ain't ever take us to the movies or take us bowling together. Like we just have like a dad and sons, like father and sons, like just me, him, my little brother. We all go out to eat or we fucking. And I remember like we threw the football once. I mean we threw the football once in the middle of the street, but it wasn't even just like us three. It was like us, this dude, some random like another dude that stayed next door. Some other little kid was with us, like that. We don't even fucking know. We was just throwing the football, all of us. But yeah, we never did little shit like that. Like have like talks, like little dad and father and sons talks. Like me and my little brother, we just like learn shit on our own type shit. Like with me, I learned shit from niggas I was hanging out with, like older dudes I was chilling with and shit. I had them talks with them niggas. So yeah, but that's just like a little backstory. I know I didn't want to give y'all story time while it's like straight military. I want to give y'all like insight of like real personal life shit. And yeah, that's just one incident that happened. I thought I would tell y'all, man. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all again.